Welcome to the Drunkard's Path. I thought I'd have Sid say hi to everybody. He was wandering around down here, so I thought, hey, say hi to the people. His brother is upstairs. He didn't want to come down, but that's okay. Anyway, I'll put him down. Today we're going to talk about Moda Blockheads 5, and I'll show you my progress, as well as the Sewcialites 2 Stitch Along, how far I've come with that as well, and a little bit of cross stitch that I've done. And to start things off, I just want to say thank you so much to the Sarnia Quilters Guild for having us out there for their October meeting. We were the vendor, and it was quite a successful night for us, and we got to see a lot of people. And I want to say thank you for all the people that helped us out during and to set up, during, and the packing up afterwards. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's get started with Moda Blockheads. I don't know if a lot of people have started doing this, but this was the first block that was put out, and that was kind of like the bonus block. So I kind of picked a solid fat quarter bundle, and they're all matching fabrics, but they're all along this kind of a color. So that was the first one. I think there's 5 in total to this point, and it goes to the middle of November, this stitch along. This is the second one, which has a lot of half square triangles, and you just have to be very cautious on the orientation. It's number 2. Actually, these may not be in any particular order, but this is the second one I'm showing you. Number 3 kind of looks a little bit like a sunflower, the way the colors. That was just by luck. I didn't really plan it that way. But this one wasn't too difficult, other than getting your these triangles sewn together along this line here. But yeah, that one turned out all right. I like it. The 4th one here. This one I saw online. A lot of people had problems with it. Not necessarily problems, but they were intimidated by it because it was paper pieced. So I'll show you. I kept my papers on the back just so I could show you. The thing is with paper piecing is that the lines and the fabric lettering is on one side, and you're laying out the fabric on the other. So it's a really good investment if you get yourself like a light table, or you end up having to go up to a window to see the placement of putting your fabric down. But if you did have a small light table, it really helps. But I've done a lot of paper piecing, so it wasn't too bad for me. But it turned out, I got all my points in there. In the middle, it was really bulky. But yeah, it turned out okay, so I'm happy with it. And the one that came out this week, or this past Wednesday, was this one. It was like a scrappy one. So you could use as many colors as you wanted, and I just like the look of that. I just think it's very bright, and yeah, scrappy. So I'm gonna be excited to see the finished product. Okay, for the Sewcialites 2, I have all my instructions in this binder, and I've got them all in their little protective sleeves to keep things organized. I'm going to show you what I have done so far, other than the one that I just filmed the other day. So that'll come up in next week's video. So these are 4 so far. Yeah, some of them can be really tricky, and just don't get discouraged. Just take your time and just follow the instructions step by step. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. And like a lot of them, I will iron open wherever I can, just so I can get the block a little bit flatter, because these are only 6-inch blocks. And I am so glad I did not pick 3-inch, because I'm sure I would have pulled all my hair out by now, because the 6-inch they're tricky enough. But I kind of wish I picked 9, but too late for that. Here are the next 3, so there's 7 total here. This one probably was one of the harder ones because it just had so many small pieces. And this one, I did make a mistake and I had to recut some fabric, but only because I had the orientation wrong. So again, just look at it, double check before you start stitching so you don't have to pull things out or recut fabric like I did. But I think in the end, I think this is going to be a really pretty quilt, and it will up my skill level for sure. Okay, now to show you my latest progress on the cross stitch. I have shown you this one a few times, but I am making progress. It is such a big project. This one is the Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, and I am just on the verge of completing that square there. So there's still a long way to go, and I think a couple of these are full coverage. So yeah, this will not be done this year, or maybe not even next year, but it is in the rotation, and slowly but surely it is getting done. So this is the number 3, and all I have left to do is this little bit of yellow right here, but it still takes a while even to do that. So yeah, it takes a little while to do, you know, even a small portion, but I like the look of it, and this is pretty much, the whole thing is going to take up probably this whole piece of linen, because there's another one that goes here, and then there's 2 more rows. So and I like the modeling on here because this morning I had a little bit of an accident. I had a drink of water and I knocked it over, and this was in the frame, and it got a little bit wet here, so I thought, oh, so if it had been just maybe a piece of white or something, you might be able to see where I spilt the water on there, but fortunately enough it doesn't show. So oh gosh, I was panicking for a second there, but it's all good. Okay, and finally here I receive every 3 months they're called Be in My Bonnet stitch card by Lori Holt, and this is set R. So when this one came in, so you see there's like a little scarecrow, a bird, a pumpkin, and a sunflower, and I think, what can I do with that? Like, you can sew them up or stitch them up individually and maybe make small pillows, or you can put it in a frame, like stitch them across, or any which way you want. But I thought, okay, what am I going to do with this? So I had this idea that I would stitch all 4 of these cards, and then I would just make a project bag. This is my finished project of the four cards right here, and I did them all on the same piece of fabric, one after the other, and then I put it in the project bag and I quilted it using the fabric. This is, I don't know if you can see it very well, there's little gold leaves on this brown, and then the top piece is quilted. And I always have to watch Lori Holt's video on her zippy bags so I get this right, because every single time, like when I go to put the zipper in, I always get kind of mixed up. So I stop it as I go along for each step, and I've never had a problem by doing that. And on the back we have this like a wheat pattern with orange. Inside I line it, and I also have a serger, so I serge the raw edges, so I don't have any issue with that. So I like these happy zippers because they have pulls on both sides. And then I added my little ghost bling on the zipper pull, so it's kind of cute. That's more of a Halloween, but you know, that's okay. It looks good, and I'm happy with the finished product. And don't forget to enter our giveaway that's in the middle of December. We've got a really nice quilt pattern with all the fabrics, everything except for the batting and the backing. So I did make a nice lap size quilt for you. So every order, your name will go into that giveaway. So good luck to everybody. And now Angelus is going to show you the Christmas line, Oh What Fun.
Okay, so for this week, the collection we're looking at is Oh What Fun. And this one is called Multi to start with. You know what, I'll even open up a bit more. This is the start of the Christmas fabric we're going to be showing off. Next week, we will have the first part of showing off a big collection that we have here. Good news, great joy. So we'll show you the rest of this right now. So this collection is kind of a old-fashioned type of feel to it. You can see, I'm going to show you here. This one's called Natural. Just like the characters, you know, like the snowman, the reindeer, like it's a type of old, vintage kind of look. This one's called Green. A bunch of interlaced stripes going on. There are a couple. I think there's 2 called Multi, 2 called Green, 2 called Pink. This one is called Eggnog, and it's a red and white stripe. And the candy cane look. I think we have another one that is similar to this, but obviously not the same. I found the one that's a lot like it. It was right there. It's fruit cocktail, cherry. So you have your pick of red and white stripes. All right, we have another multi, and this time it has a bunch of the other little characters, the little Santa, little reindeer presents, all that type of stuff. Some of these have a little problem where if I'm holding them up, they're actually upside down. So I have to hold it like this. Can't quite drape it down for you. Next one we have is Pink, which is same pattern as the last time. This time with a pink, nice frilly pink background. Then we have Green, which is kind of a turquoisey green with even the dots, I'll say, kind of look vintagey, kind of, you know, splatchy, handmade almost. And the last one in the collection, same dots as before, this time that same pink from before. So that's Oh What Fun. It's still coming up to Halloween, so we have all those other Halloween fabrics. You know, go look at those. They're really nice. I like them. And then we'll be looking at more Christmas stuff in the future, especially coming up to Christmas. You know, we have the giveaway kit for anyone who buys something is a Christmassy kit that you'll get soon to Christmas. For now, I'm gonna send you over to Sewcialites 2. This time, block 7.
Here's block number 7 for Sewcialites 2 Quilt Along. It's called Butterfly Garden Block by Pat Sloan. And the block skill level is experienced. I think that is more because of you have to keep a real close eye on the placement. I had a quick look at this one, and it doesn't look too difficult. It's just things have to be oriented correctly. So let's see if we can do it without messing up or having to reach for our stitch ripper. Okay, so pieces are cut out. Have my alphabets on so I can know exactly what piece is what. So first of all, it says E to F, and I'm going to make 2 units like this, as opposed to making 2 units the opposite way on our next step. So let's start with number 1 first. E and F. So it goes that way, okay. Make sure that one and that one. So let's go like this. Line up. Put down, needle down, 1/4 inch. Oh, and again, 1.6 stitch length because I like to iron open. Like that. Let's snip these apart. And now I'm going to iron them. I'm going to try open and see how close I can get the seams. Make sure you keep the pattern right in front of you so you can see exactly how things go. So, I'm going to make 2 like this. So let's pin these guys this time. And it looks sure that goes right on the seam. Okay. 1/4 inch. Okay, glue and like that. Flip it over and line it up. Make sure the middle one is lined up. Snip. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's good. That one's good too. So I'm gonna iron these open. I'll keep those under the clapper, and we're gonna do the other two exactly the same way. So I will be back in a minute with these units completed. Okay, here's our 2 units. Here's 2 of this one. That's the back. Nice and flat. This one, which is opposite, and again, nice and flat. Oh, I just wanted to say, Pat Sloan, she also has a YouTube channel that you may want to have a look at. She's got like a ton of videos, and she's so funny, and she has a lot of really great tips and tricks, and she's made probably about like 1,000 quilts. So we can link her below so you can check out her YouTube channel. Okay, now it says, okay, the green top. We need a piece D, and we're gonna sew and flip. So let's get our D's on the green. We're going to place on the top, and we're gonna go sew from corner to corner. And I'm gonna go this way because it's easier for me. Okay, right on, and you can see I'm lining up this point with the red line. So we're gonna go right across and cut. And I'm gonna trim 1/4 inch away from the seam. And then I'm gonna iron that. Okay, so that's the first step. The next one says to take an A. Just need one. And the A goes on the blue side. You might want to pin this one because it's a little bit bigger. We don't want it to shift on us. Okay, move it down, and we're going to sew across. Nice and straight and slow. Okay. Take out our pin. Again, we're going to trim off from 1/4 inch away from the seam. Gonna iron that open. Okay, so far so good, but we have a lot of seams in the back, so that's why I like to press open. Okay, lay it down the way it shows me, and now we're gonna get another D, and it's gonna go in the bottom corner. So let's line that up. Okay, now we're going to trim it back up. Iron it. Okay, now it's calling for a G. See? On the last corner, make sure we only got one of these. It's going to go right here. Trim it. Oops. And we're gonna iron that one as well. And we have the first one done. Now it's calling for very similar for the next 3. There's just different orientation. So just go one at a time and it should work out for you. So I will be back as soon as I get all 4 completed. Okay. I'm glad we didn't do this thing live because yes, I did mess up and yes, I did have to redo one of these. I had a piece in the wrong, one of these sizes was on a wrong corner. So I had to go back, recut, and sew the pieces together again. So now the orientation is right. Again, even if it's right in front of you, sometimes it happens. Okay, so the next step, after all that, is the H and the C's. So let's grab our piece H and our C's. And we're just going to put it on each end. And sew our 1/4 inch seam. I could have had some funny outtakes there because, I don't know, that's frustrating when that happens. Snip. Gonna iron them. So now that piece goes in between these 2 pieces. I don't know if you can see it. Now it tells me to sew these 2 together and these 2 together. So let's do that. Make sure we get it right. Don't mess up. Okay, flip. So the whites with the white. This is a test of how square you actually did it, which it never ever is completely square. Lots of pins if you need to, and let's go with this side. Get that out. Okay. See here. That's okay. Did okay there. All right, let's gonna iron that. Okay, let's do the other side. Line up our corners. Okay, we're gonna put a pin in there first, and then line up top corner. Just have to stretch a little. And try to put one in the middle if you can. Keep everything down. And let's try this side. Oh, surprise me, surprise me. What are we gonna get? Okay, that's all right. I can live with that. Okay, now let's sew our middle piece on. So line up our corners because that needs to meet. I like to do the top because that one needs to meet too. And let's pin on the way down here. Let's go with this one. And we'll just go one in the middle. But if you need more, put more. Got a lot of skills after this one. Press this one. I think it says to the side. Okay. Okay, let's do our other side. The last seam. Yay. Okay, so line up our corner first. Top corner. the middle. Gonna shift that. I'm gonna throw one here. And one here should do it. That. Snip, let's have a look. Hey, that looks okay. Let me just iron this piece. Okay, here's our finished piece. Don't get discouraged if you make a mistake, because mistakes happen. So just roll with it, recut it, and continue on. Okay, on to block 8. As always, we want to say thank you very much for your support. We are just a small family-owned quilt shop, online quilt shop, and every order means so much to us. We're greatly appreciative. So until next time, keep sewing, keep stitching.